You don't need to break bones to get answers because the mind is the best prison. You can fuck with people in the most minimum of ways to get information out and whatnot. You give me just a tiny bit of information, I give you a tiny bit of your life back. Just a small bit of
Okay, a
normal to
little
where you'll
reward.
crave it
You know,
and give
Isaiah,
them.
this is the first time I've ever asked you this question, but it seems like you've already put a lot of thought into it. Like you're ready to
I
go.
want.
It seems like you already like have the general idea on how to torture people.
I plead the fifth. Leave me alone. Anyways, Joey's here. Let me talk about when I was in a fucking haunted house.
Oh
Keep
yeah,
outing me and
let's
shit.
talk about some spooky stories. Let's get into that. Let's go ahead and do some banter. All right. What do we always kind of like go back and forth with? We think.
Mm, yeah, there was just something we were talking about. What the fuck was it?
I mean, we
What
do it
were
all
we?
the time. I just can't
I
think of
know,
it.
but
Yeah.
like, we agree with a lot of things too. Oh, you
Okay.
don't like the way I would interrogate people
Oh, yeah. Okay.
because
So
you say I'm too
your
gay to
take
it.
on interrogating people is literally like, hey, I'm gonna be so nice to you and like do all this stuff instead of like instilling fear and like trying to get it out as quick as possible. Like you're trying to play the long game, but I think that it has a lot of effects, like mentally, that
Yeah.
will go against you.
Okay, imagine like a big frou-frou fairy coming in through, being super nice, giving you a little bit of water, dangling a fucking carrot in your face, and then he starts filleting your arm while laughing. You don't know what to do.
Also, being comfortable, let your guard down.
100%. So if I can get the information without hurting them, kudos. Double win-win.
Mm-hmm.
Then they're gonna be like, oh my God, these guys are actually really fucking nice. Like we should actually go and talk to them. And we should be like, they're cool. Took us in there, want to see what's up. And if I don't have to do that, then I'd rather not. But
Okay, so what if you're trying to get this information out to people, and what if it just completely backfires, and they're like, "Oh man, this guy's pretty cool. Like, yeah, at least I'll like go out, comfortable."
Back.
Welcome back.
well, we also have the capability of being dangerous people. I feel like we're missing that side of it.
You can always switch it up. You don't
Yeah, what's the
know
difference
that.
between one person? One person
Yeah.
is not gonna make or break a battle. Unless it's like fucking Spartan, like fucking Master Chief. A scout is not going to make or break the fucking spot. And no, we're not going to let them go until they bring somebody else over. But if we're nice to them, the scout will come back and be like, yo, these guys are actually really fucking nice. They're capable, they're cool, calm, collected. But if they're already assholes at the rip, no. But I'm still going to do the frou frou fairy dance because
Yeah, I'm a little confused on why you're so stuck on like doing it gay. Like, why you got to be gay about it?
everybody's ready for the big badass, the big huge like Batman built motherfucker, Bane built motherfucker to come in there, beat your shit, and then some like mafia boss coming in being like, who do you work for? Where's Rachel? Everyone's expected. Everyone's mentally trained for that guy. Nobody's trained for the frou frou fairy boy to come in and skip dance Goldilocks around you.
So
Nobody's
I think
trained
I
for that.
have your guys' voices locked in. So Joseph, you're the outlier here. How would you? What do you think would be the best way to torture someone to get information out of them? Would you go like stereotype, instill fear, and like just start smashing fingernails, or would you be Josh's route where you like be really nice and like kind of trick them to thinking that things are cool while just doing fucking maniacal things?
Uh, I think maybe the best. I think you have to. I think you have to have leverage. Like,
Yeah, but is your leverage like a hammer, or is your leverage like information, or like you have his wife? You know?
like people he cares about are the things he cares about. To where, he'd rather be dead, you know, than he'd rather have to say what we need from him than to live on without whatever he has. But if he has nothing to lose, then I mean, I would just keep him alive for as long as possible, to where life was like just better ended than him being alive. If you can't go the leverage route.
Okay, so you want to do more work and make sure that like you want to make sure this guy talks. You're like, I have your fucking daughter, and here's a video of her. We're like 3 seconds from nailing her hand to this desk. Like that's what you want to go with?
I mean, I don't know if I could do that personally, but I feel like that would be the best way. Because like everybody's got something. You know what I mean? You just have to find what it is. Go through every route until you get some cues on what they're not willing to sacrifice for whatever the fuck they're holding back the information for.
Yeah, I mean, it makes a lot of sense. I think I would agree with this route. I think it would work really well. My question to you is, do you think that you could do it? Do you think you can follow through with it?
Well, I guess it depends on what's at stake. You know what I mean?
So in all these situations, I'm not gonna have you just fucking people up for no reason. Like they infiltrated our group and they were trying to be spies and try to like find ways to destroy us. And we're fighting for a good cause. And I need you to interrogate this guy and get information out of him. And like I need you to do your job and do it well.
I mean, if it's like for the greater good, I guess you'd kind of have to.
Maybe
I don't
maybe
know.
you shouldn't be the interrogator. Where are the drugs?
Where are the drugs going?
All right. I think everyone's voice is locked in, but now that we've asked this question, Isaiah, if you had to interrogate someone for the better good of our community and we're fighting for a great cause and you're trying to milk information out of them, how you doing it? What do you think would be the most effective way to interrogate / torture somebody?
Well, it depends on the time frame. If it's a month max that I could hold the person and the information is needed,
Oh,
then
there's
I'm
no
gonna
laws.
use no. If we need the information within a month, I'm gonna use drastic tactics, torturing, actual torturing, putting them through hell and shit like that. But if I could go longer, isolationism. Play fucking mind games. Be nice to them, but they're also going to be isolated. You're isolated for long periods of time without being able to see light or day, and whatnot, in the dark for long periods of time. Very minimal food, bread, water. That's all you're getting, bro. Using the bathroom in the same area as well. Just in the fucking dark.
So do you think that you could be ruthless to someone? Like, do you
Oh
think that
yes,
you'd be able to do this?
100%, 100%. I can do it.
Like they came into our shit trying to fuck it up, and you have no
Yep,
remorse, right?
yep. I can easily cut that shit off. Don't
That's
care.
interesting that you say that because Josh actually said something. Sorry, Shubba Dub Dub said something very similar, and he was talking about also keeping people in the dark for extended periods of time to like let that psychosis set in as well as
Yeah,
hunger.
yeah.
And
You don't need to be poking at people for that long. It all depends on the time that you need the information for. If you need the information like now within weeks, obviously you can't do that to them. It's not going to really affect them. They can hold their ground. But if you can wait 2, 3 months, yeah, I would easily
so
do
you're
that. You don't
also in
need
the
to do
game of
shit.
like long game, right?
Yeah. I I'm in the field of you don't need to break bones to get answers because the mind is the best prison. You can fuck with people in the most minimum of ways to get information out and whatnot. And all they're doing is delaying, but in the end of the day, they're going to tell you what you need. I don't need to kidnap their family. I don't need to threaten their life and shit like that. There are ways to get it. And what happens when you come across someone who doesn't care about their family or care or have
Yeah,
any
like
loved
that
ones?
can't be your only
Or
card, right?
yeah. And then what happens if you fuck with someone who doesn't care that you're breaking their limbs or isn't afraid to die? Because there are people like that. Not only that, you can also make someone who's scared of that become numb to it to where they
So
don't feel it. It's just a
right.
daily
So you
routine
think
of
you should
being
dabble in a
tortured.
little bit of like all tactics?
Yes, it all depends on the time frame. If you need information now, pain is the best way to get the answer. But if you can space that shit out and you can, wait, that will always be my number one way to get information. Isolationism. You're in the dark. You get the most minimum of shit. In the moment, and I would do it to where you give me just a tiny bit of information. I give you a tiny bit of your life back. Just a small bit of
Okay, a
normal to
little
where you'll
reward,
crave it. Yeah, a
little
little,
treat in
just the
there.
bare minimum, just the bare minimum. And then they're going to realize how much that meant in their life and they can't live without it and they're going to give you more and more and more And
You know,
you give
Isaiah,
them
this is the first time I've ever asked you this question, but it seems like you've already put a lot of thought into it. Like you're ready to
I
go.
want I wanted to be in the CIA. I really wanted to be in the CIA. I
It
have
it seems like you already like have the general idea on how to torture people.
I don't I plead the fifth. Leave me alone. Anyways, Joey's here. Let me talk about when I was in a fucking haunted house.
Oh
Keep
yeah,
pounding me and
let's
shit.
talk about some spooky stories. Let's get into that. What you were in a haunted house for 5 years? What happened?
5 years. So first year. Um I was the first person to feel like something was off. It was like the first year was pretty normal. It was kind of like the end of the year. I was like
You got the
in
horror story black guy syndrome. Like you're already
I was in fifth grade at the time and whatnot. And it was mostly around the times that I couldn't sleep. I was starting to have problems sleeping. And I couldn't sleep around, 3 o'clock. That's around the time that I would try to go to sleep. And I would feel like someone's watching me, or it's not necessarily watching me. Something was just standing in the hallway because
Oh,
they
so
never
you
could
felt a
get,
presence then. And feel
oh,
free to chime in whenever,
easily.
boys. This is a group conversation.
Easily you could feel something was watching me, and I was in there in the room with my little brother, and I always felt it every night that I was awake. Always felt like something was out there. So if I needed to go take a piss, I was like, nah, fuck that. I was just like, nah.
I'm not
um
going out there, dude. The guys out there.
yeah, and I was like, but I wasn't the only one that was feeling this. My little brother felt it, but he could sleep through. He was really young at the time, so it didn't really bother
He just
him.
didn't really understand it. He was just like, there's a
No, it
little
is,
fucky
yeah.
going on.
Yeah, and my mom used to sleep in the living room instead of her room because she liked to be around everyone and not be closed off in her room. So in case anything happened, she could hear something. Um, she would always feel like something was in the hallway looking towards our room
Did she
too.
say
But
anything about it or?
no, she would check, see nothing there, and then shrug her shoulders. But one night she heard someone run past
Oh,
through the living room
fuck.
over to our room. And she went, got up, ran to our room to check. Nothing was there. And she was like, what the fuck? She looked around the house, didn't find anything. She didn't say anything because she didn't see anything. She was just thinking, psychosis. I was just asleep and whatnot. I'm hearing things,
Yeah, and
seeing
she's the one to
things.
freak
It
you
is
guys
what it
out.
is.
He's probably pretty young, right?
Exactly. Then there was one night I was sleeping in the living room. My mom was in her room and my brothers were in their rooms and whatnot. And I'm like falling asleep, and trying to close my eyes, opening it back up, trying to watch TV at the same time. See a pair of legs in front of me, dark pants and shoes. I blink, jolt up, it's gone. I'm like, I need to go back to sleep. I'm seeing shit. It is what it is. My brother, my older brother, was
Wait, you
in
saw
the
that like a grown ass man just watching you sleep, and you're like, yeah, oh,
I saw
whatever, it
black
happens.
I saw black legs, and I was like, maybe I'm hallucinating. Because I was like, I'm gonna freak out if there's some ghost shit. But even if there is ghost shit, you don't speak to it because you don't acknowledge it.
That's
Basically, is
common
my
sense,
premise.
yeah.
You just don't acknowledge. My older brother was the next to experience something. He was trying to watch TV in the living room. Everyone was asleep. TV cuts off. He's like, what the fuck? Cuts it back on. TV cuts right back off. He's like, what's going on with the power? He does it one more time. TV cuts right back off, but then the TV cuts on its own, and then he starts hearing banging in the kitchen. This motherfucker went and go get my little brother and told him to go into the kitchen to figure out what's in the kitchen.
Yo, this thing just watched ghost porn for like a millisecond and then started banging your kitchenware. That's what happened.
Oh shit! Shut up. Um, Then, one more thing happened. My little brother, it was me and him alone, and most of that shit happened at night. This next thing happened during the day. Um, he thought he saw someone with like no face, dressed in black, very tall in the bathroom, and he's like, "I swear I saw someone just standing there." And he was so calm saying it. I was like, "What the fuck?" And I went to go check, and I checked everywhere. I didn't see anything, so I was a little
Yo,
freaked
I
out.
imagine your
So
little
I was
brother
like,
like coming to you. He's like, hey, so there's like just some guy in there in the
"Yeah."
bathroom, man.
Mhm.
Like,
He was just like he was just chilling there, and I was like, "Fucking hell!" But then everything stopped for my family. They didn't experience anything. Now everything is just me. Um, I was washing the dishes, and it was like 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock ish, and whatnot. and I feel someone tugging on my shirt. I think it's Bonnie, and I'm just like, it is what it is.
And Monty's your
Uh,
brother?
yeah, Monty's my
Okay.
little brother. And I feel a harder tug, and then I hear footsteps running behind me, and I was like, Monty, and I go and look into the fucking living room. He's asleep, and my mom is asleep. There is no way in hell he could have skirted onto the
Hell
carpet
no.
into the end of the room and get under the covers and look asleep.
And like, yeah, pretend like he's just no, yeah.
I am black, but I turned white, and I was just like, it's maybe nothing. And I went back to washing the dishes. And what's scary is there's a mirror in front of me, or there's a window in front of me, and you can see reflections and shit. And there's a big mirror behind me, and I was just trying not to look at it just in case anything was there. I was like, it's whatever. Hey,
If you can see them, they can see you.
You're just
then
sizing him up for how much meat he's got on him.
shut up. The next thing that I experienced was, uh, I was up at night again, 3 a.m. ish and whatnot, and I'm hearing footsteps outside. And I was like, it's maybe nothing. We have cats that run around and whatnot, and you could hear it because you can hear the footsteps because our bathroom door, the window, well, the bathroom door was open and the window was open to let air in and whatnot. And I was just thinking it was cats because I could hear the footsteps and whatnot. And cats normally run around our house and shit like that. The weird thing was, normally the cats trigger the security light. The light wasn't on, and the footsteps were walking towards the bathroom. And I was like ninja crawling to see if I could see something. I was being fucking stupid. I didn't see anything, but I was being extra stupid because I saw that my room light was on and it kind of like stopped at my room light, and I turned it off. And then you just hear the footsteps bolt. They just run in a different direction. So I'm like freaking out and whatnot. I wake my mom up. She goes and checks, and it's nothing. And I'm just like,
Dude,
freaking out
the
because
same
I
MO,
don't
man.
I'm just like, I don't know what the fuck is going on. They always stop around my room. Now, nothing happens for like a year or two, right? Like I'm like paranoid, but nothing happens. My brother goes to college. I get his room.
Oh, so there's like
So
a pretty long stretch of time where like just in between.
nothing, yeah, nothing happened and whatnot.
But
And I
maybe it was
get,
like minutes for the ghosts, they're dead forever.
who knows, if it was even a ghost or if I was just going insane.
Yeah, who knows?
I get his room, and every night I'm sleeping, I'll hear like a bang on the door and whatnot. And I thought the door would be creaking, but it wasn't really the door creaking, it was just banging on the door. I was just like, it is what it is. The door is closed, the door is locked. When I moved to my brother's room, it was like banging and shit like that, but I would ignore it and just go back to sleep. There was one night where I had a really bad nightmare. I basically um felt like I was watching a murder, but I wasn't the person. I wasn't me. I was someone else. I basically watched this man walk into a house, murder his family. The police came. They were trying to tell him to put the gun down. He looks me dead in the eyes and he shoots himself in the face. And
Oh
I wake
my
up.
god! How old were
I
you?
I was like 12. I don't know
Jesus!
who I was, but I know I wasn't me.
How do
I'm
you get that in
freaking
your
out.
head, dude?
I wake up, there's banging on the door, and then I curl up into a ball, throw under the covers, and I'm fucking crying because I don't know what the hell I just saw. And I'm just like, it was just a nightmare. My mom was just like, just make sure you sleep with your Bible. Hopefully, hope to God nothing happened. And then my mom told like her friends and shit like that, and they're like, maybe spirits are drawn to you because maybe when you were a kid you were so close to death that maybe they're just drawn to you. Because as a kid, I drowned and shit like that. I didn't really believe it because this is the first time I ever experienced shit, and I really think I was just going insane and I was just going through some shit. Because even if it was quote unquote ghost shit, I'd rather not think about ghost shit.
Of course.
So
Yeah. So, Joseph, you still there?
Yeah.
Sorry, Joey. Joey has quite a bit of experience and like a know-how on how this stuff works. He's had a few encounters himself, a few bad experiences. Why don't you tell us about that sleep paralysis demon that you had for a while?
I didn't have it for a while. I just had it one time.
Well, you had it like 2 or 3, right? It was kind of different.
Well, every time I saw, this was the one time that I saw something and I couldn't move.
Okay.
Because I've seen a bunch, but I could move and I could like put my blanket over me and I can just close my eyes and turn my body away. But this is the first time I couldn't move at all. I guess to give context, there's like I was in a part of my life that I was struggling with
Materialization.
who I was. No,
Oh.
and because everybody was just giving up on me and nobody was. I was just like, you know what? Who cares anymore? I don't want to keep caring anymore. Maybe I should just be the bad guy. Maybe I should just not care. Maybe I should just who cares?
Mm.
And that's this is like one of the lowest parts so far. And I had a dream. I was sleeping in my room, and then I woke up for something. Like I had to take a call. I don't know. But then I went into my mom's room and I laid down to tell her like how something went. I can't remember, but I went in the morning, and she was like off work, and I was like, "Hey, mom, this happened. Okay, oh, good, you know, whatever." And I laid down, and I was just talking to her, you know, laying next to her, and then I ended up falling asleep. I started dreaming about like I was with by myself at this really really fancy wedding. I mean, like millionaire type wedding, and
Balling out.
I this guy dropped his wallet, and like 100% of the time beforehand, I would have picked up the wallet and gave it back to him. And I was upset in the dream as well, and I was like, you know what, fuck that. I'm taking this. I want this. This is my money now. So then I take it, and I instantly wake up, and then I can't move, and I was like, oh fuck. And then at the
Ah,
edge of
fuck.
the
He
at the
got
edge of
me.
the bed, so there's like these wooden like you know how you can like set the lamp on the end of a bed frame and type stuff, like those big wooden old school bed frames.
Yeah,
At
they
the
got some like
end,
thick ass posts on the corners.
yeah, at the end there was the wallet. I could see it. I was sitting there and I was looking at it, and I was like, "What is happening?" And then you know how like when like ear rape, like those memes that ear rape, it's just like bass boosted,
Yeah.
like hurting your ears almost.
Yeah.
So that just happened, and it was just
You just had
constantly,
constant vine boom every time
and
you looked at the wallet.
yeah, but it was just constant loud noise in my ear, and then I started really getting freaked out, and I couldn't move, and I was trying to move my foot to where I could like like hit my mom to where she could wake me up, or like maybe she heard like, you know, touching me would snap me out of it.
Yeah,
So I
you
was
started
trying
to
to move
panic a
my
little
foot,
bit.
and then I was like really trying, like as strong as I could, moving my foot towards her, and then this big mountain of meat. This sounds fake, but I don't know what to say. So
That's
he
what they called
walks
me in
in,
college.
this big mountain of just flesh comes in, and as it goes through the doorway into the room, it just gets louder and louder, and then it like its body goes into the edge of the bed, and then it takes the wallet, and then when it leaves, as soon as it starts going back to the doorway and it passes through the doorway, I kick my mom. So I'm like trying to move my foot towards her, and then when it leaves, everything releases and I could move, and then I kick her, and she's like, "What happened?" And I just start. I'm like, "I don't know what the fuck's going on." And then yeah, but that was my one time I had sleep paralysis. Was
Can you
that whole?
describe the mountain of meat? Like what it looks like to you?
So it's like decayed brown, like a lot of. So picture, let's say you just chop up a bunch of cows, right? And their blood has kind of dried, so it's like a darker, deeper red, and it's a like 6 feet tall of just that piled up onto itself, and
So are
it
we
like
thinking like ground beef pile, or are
no,
we
like
thinking like
big,
Dark
like
Souls engine pile of meat?
let's say you just take a cleaver and then not mince or anything, take and just chop up big chunks of it, to
And
where it's
that's what
not
your sleep
distinguishable.
paralysis demon looked like. It was just
Yeah, it was just a big mountain of flesh bleeding
wow.
everywhere, and then it took it from me, and then I was like, oh damn, maybe that's a bad idea. So then I mean,
So
in a
what
way it helped me, but it
do
was
you
really
think that your
scary.
dream was a test? That it was, since you stole that wallet, do you think that it was a test and that creature showed up for a reason?
Well, I mean, if there's a sign for anything, that's not the path I should be on.
Well, yeah. I mean,
But I don't think I was being tested. I think I was being shown what would happen.
maybe I'm leaning toward the test route because
Well,
you
I talked
went in
about
as soon as you took that wallet, it just ended. The dream ended, and you're there, and you're like, "Hey, fuck you."
yeah, but I mean, I don't think that one time's gonna that one test is, you know what I mean?
Or on like a higher no, I mean it probably didn't have like a real effect. It was probably just a test to see if you pass or failed, and they'll teach you a lesson from it. But on a different note, what if you traveled to another plane of existence in your dream and you stole an interdimensional being's wallet and he just came back to
Oh
get
my
it?
gosh! I mean,
So
good for him.
you just ran someone's fucking pockets? What the fuck?
You just stole his fucking wallet in a different dimension and you had to chase your ass down for it.
Get his
There's,
ass.
I actually want to, if I can do one more story. This one's a lot shorter, but I
We
want
got a
to
couple
say it
more
before I
because
forget
I
it.
want you to tell the story with me about the girl in my house.
Okay, yeah. Let me say this one really fast. So recently, I've been trying to be super early to work, right? Not like early, but like on 5 minutes, 10 minutes before, so I'm not like stressing and stuff. And I worry a lot about waking up because I stay up really late. And I've gotten to the point to where I can wake myself up if I feel like I'm getting too close to past my alarm. Like you can like get that intuition. You're like, oh shit, I
Yeah,
gotta
yeah,
wake
yeah.
up. So there was one day I was dreaming heavy. Like I was super into the dream. This is like, it feels like you're fucking dreaming for days. And
So it pulled you
I
into like
was
a more of a like a lucid dream state
I
after a
was I
while.
was so yeah, so I was dreaming and I realized that I was going to be late. Like I just felt the time and what I needed to wake up. So I stopped in my dream. I was talking to someone and I literally said, I was like, "Wait, I need to wake up." So when I said that, I looked straight up into the air in my dream, and then everything just started flying past me, like I was flying up towards to go back into my body. And I was flying, and it got faster and faster, and then it just wind. And then I finally, when I got to the top, I woke up. So I jolted into my body. It
Whoa,
fucking was crazy,
that's
crazy
nuts,
shit.
actually.
And when I stopped, I need to go back. I need to wake up. And then I don't know if you can hear that my mic picks this up. Can you hear that?
No.
It was like, okay, so just picture like you're driving in a car and you stick your head out the window. That's how fast I was moving. And then I was going, and then at first I could see like buildings passing by me, and then it was just like, you know how when in movies like fragments of memories are like grayed out
Yeah,
and
you
they're
had a
kind of
total Doctor
blurry.
Strange scene in your dream, man.
Yeah, and then right when I got to myself, I jolted into my body, and I was like about to be late. Shit was awesome.
Did you wake up in a
Shit was
startle?
awesome.
Like you're like, oh fuck, like I just flew.
I think I was more startled of I got to my body before I thought I was going to. Like I was flying and then I hit it and I was like, "Oh, okay, I'm here."
Dude, the
You know what I
brain is
mean?
so weird, man. Like you can do crazy stuff with your brain. Like you can trick yourself into not getting sick. With like the whole placebo effect.
That's crazy. That shit's
I,
wild.
it's insane. I have realized that I don't think Josh has told a story, and after that, we'll tell the little girl story because it's a great story, and everyone knows it by now. But whatever. Um,
Josh scares spirits away with his menacing aura.
I think that Josh hasn't seen anything like real, and he just maybe he just got that big dick energy.
You got fucking lucky, motherfucker.
I know.
I
Let me
just
hear
said that.
something, Josh. Sorry, shub a dub dub.
You want to know the duality of man and spirit, or the realization that we are not alone here, but the understanding that we were never alone.
That would be awesome if I can hear you because I'm sure it was super dramatic and cool.
Could you hear me at all?
What? It
I've been
was.
talking.
I heard.
I haven't heard you since the last two I said, and then the whole part of Isaiah's.
Yeah. Well, I turned my headphone up, so I didn't. Step on your story with my static, my Walmart brand mic. No, look, it's very simple. Simple. If you don't acknowledge them, I won't fuck with you. So just don't
That's rule
acknowledge
number
them.
1.
Even if they're doing the cha-cha slide down your hallway, just walk right past them. Don't give them that satisfaction, because that's what they want. What do they want? They want to
Like,
be
don't even
noticed.
be
They want to be
afraid. Do you
seen. They
think
want to be
that
heard.
fear is a satisfaction too?
Oh, 100%, bro. I walk right past them. Unless they like start like fucking hurting me or something like that, then obviously I'll get involved and I have a game plan for that.
So
But
you have
past that,
experienced something.
oh yeah, tons. But I just let them go, move past them, bro. Because that's not me,
Well, where were you when you experienced it?
bro. Here,
There.
Nia Bay, my grandma's house in Mexico, fucking abandoned church that me and my buddy used to run through all the time. Like
Man in
they're there.
church.
All right, you just said that.
Why?
What the fuck are you talking about, Zach?
I want to
Josh,
hear that one.
please explain why the fuck you would go through an abandoned church.
Because it looked cool, bro. What you mean? Got to do it for the gram one time. Let's go.
Oh,
I've heard that abandoned churches are some of the some of the scariest stories I've heard from people. Like they encounter some
Oh,
wild
it's Spook
stuff.
City, bro. That whole like chills down your spine, turn around slowly because you're so scared type shit. That's real. That's real as fuck.
That's not
100%
even.
real.
I was about to say it's not even just the fucking ghosts, but people living there, bro. The creatures and people and shit like that. Nah,
So-
man, fuck that.
If it's living, I can kill it. I don't know how to kill spirits.
Well, how old were you when you did this? Were you that confident back then?
17?
Okay, never mind. Yeah, you.
So
Yeah,
do you have
you
a
could
specific
definitely do that.
story? Like one that stands out?
I could do a kind of. So we went to this church. This is kind of like the spot, but we always knew after about like midnight, 1 o'clock, stuff starts getting weird, right? And about like 3, 4 in the morning, shit gets real fucking weird. Like shit gets weird. So we out there, break up a couple of chairs and a bench, start a fire, and we're chilling, doing some illegal activities that I won't say in your stream for legality reasons. And we're chilling. And I got to go to the bathroom. So I do know, like, the toilet system still worked as long as you poured water down it. So we always had a bucket. We filled it up with water from the creek. And so I went to the bathroom, did my thing, and went to dump it out. And there's no lights in there. So I'm just running off cell phone light or a lighter. That's it. That's all I had. And so, this church was so old that the foundation was cracking and like slanting over. So the doors don't close. So the doors do not fucking close because the frame is sideways and the doors obviously
Yeah,
straight.
they're no longer plumb.
Yeah, no longer plumb. Good word. Like that shit. So it's no longer plumb door. So it doesn't close all the way. You can just fucking like you can close it enough for privacy, but there's still a huge crack in it. Like it was off by like fucking 5-10 degrees. It was going down, bro.
Damn.
And so I'm sitting there doing my business, and the fucking door gets pushed open, and I'm like, that's wild.
That's not
So you know what
supposed
I
to be
do?
possible.
Yeah. So you know what I do? I just close the door. I just close it again. And what's it do? Pushes right open again. And I'm like, it's probably just windy. And I'm like, man, it's windy in this building. Just to not give whatever the fuck was in there that satisfaction. Keep in mind, I'm sweating bullets at this moment. I'm
Mhm.
terrified.
Yep.
Fucking terrified. So I finished what I need to do, wipe myself, fucking flush it, and just pretend like everything's all hunky dory normal.
I hate that word. Stop.
Hunky dory?
Yeah.
Well,
You've been on one lately. You've just been saying hunky dory.
hunky dory, motherfucker.
No one says that. I haven't
Hunky-dory.
heard anyone say that.
Guess
I
what?
say
I
that.
do.
I say that.
Okay,
Yeah.
well,
It's a
continue with
colored
the
person
story.
thing. You
Just
wouldn't
don't
get it.
insult me again.
It's a colored person thing. You wouldn't get it.
It's a
So
what?
it's a colored person thing. You wouldn't get it.
Oh, Josh. Sorry, Shub. Don't come at me. Don't come at me with your fucking white ass.
Hey yo.
So, so I switched from flashlight to fucking my lighter. So I'm like, let's just really set the aesthetic off, man. Let's just really fucking push this envelope. Because I'm stupid, right? I'm stupid. My senses are a little
You're there for the thrill, man.
numb,
Fuck it.
bro. Just vibing. just vibing me and this ghost. So I use the ladder, right? And it takes like 2-3 clicks to get it. I go, I light it. Tell me this fucking ladder doesn't go and just goes out. And I'm like, it's time to go. I
Yo,
gotta
it's
get out of
really
here.
windy in here, man.
It's so windy in here. So I just turn my flashlight on and I walk out normal pace, completely covered in sweat, go out to the fire. I'm sitting there and I'm chilling and I'm like, yo, that church kind of spooky tonight. And my buddy's looking at me and he was like, what you mean? And I was like, it's spooky tonight. And we moved on. We just moved on. I was like, I'm not even gonna pay no mind to him. I'm just letting him know that it's spooky in there tonight. Just agree. So other buddy comes. He comes around like 2 a.m. Got the fire going, cooking up some stuff. We had just killed a rabbit. And
What the God?
And so my buddy comes and he's like, yo, I gotta do like that. And he literally walks to the church door, stands in front of it, and he's like, yo, I'm not going in this fucking building. He's like, I don't know what it is, but I'm not going in here. And I was like, well, now you shouldn't. You stupid. You acknowledged it. And he's like, what the fuck do you mean? And I was like, well, don't go in now. You acknowledged it. You said you're not going in there because there's something in it. You're not comfortable. Now it knows this.
Yeah,
Now you're
game
fucked.
over.
You fucked up, so you can't go in there anymore. You lost your braids until morning tomorrow. So good luck. And he's like, well, I gotta pee. And I was like, well, go pee in a bush. You fucked up. You can't go in there anymore. But yeah,
It
that's
was
probably
already
one of
like
the
treading the
things.
line, man, and like you went over. It's game
Yeah,
over.
yeah. He was moment you acknowledge him, you give him power. So don't give him power.
Yeah, I'm glad that's like one thing that all of us have in common. Like we just ignored it. We're like, nah,
Yeah,
it is
the
what it
one
is.
singularity. Like, oh
You
no, I
don't.
can't say that because I'm about to say this story, and I
Oh
did not do that.
God.
I mean,
Oh.
if you're in my spot, you wouldn't have.
Yeah, I definitely wouldn't, no matter what, even if it's in my face, because I had like a sleep paralysis fucking
No,
demon that looked like a
no. Let
drudge.
me
You never
no.
acknowledge.
It was a little
Never.
different for me, man. So, Joseph, Joey, go ahead and go on and tell your side of the story, and I'll go on with the rest.
Hey, just give me one thing. What time was it again? What
It
time?
was like 3 a.m, dude.
It was super. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So we were playing.
Destiny.
I don't. Yeah, we were playing games, and Kim's in bed. Okay, she's asleep. Has to be. It's 3 a.m. We're playing and we're just chopping the shit. Just not. I didn't mean to say chopping the shit. We were just shooting the shit and just playing Destiny, grinding, and I think mid conversation, I hear Kim, and I was like, "What? Why is she awake?" And I don't remember what it
Kim's my
said.
wife, by the way. Listen.
Yeah, sorry, Kim. Yeah, and I hear a woman's voice, which I assumed was Kim. And then it ever just stops talking. And in my brain, I was like, "Should I say something?" I was gonna say, "Why is Kim awake? That's weird." And
I
then
froze. I froze.
he ever was just completely quiet for a good maybe 15 seconds, and then he was like, "Did you just hear that?" And I immediately my heart dropped. I was like, "Fuck, no, please."
That's not what I wanted to hear.
And then he was like, "I just heard a fucking woman talk behind me." And then I don't
It was a
remember what
laugh.
happens after that.
It was a
Oh yeah,
laugh.
it was some kind of noise, but it was not. There's no way he could have made that noise.
Yeah,
Sorry,
I'll
ever.
just stop you right there. And I'll tell you from my point of view. So that's what Joey heard, right? He heard just Kim or something laugh behind me, and all of a sudden, like I was freaked out, and he got freaked out. Grant, like rightfully so. So we were playing the games, like he said. Keep in mind, we were in Nia Bay, Washington. It was on a Native American reservation,
Oh no.
and the house that I moved into, the last owners actually moved out because they had a collection of guitars that they hung on the wall, and it kept getting strummed in the middle of the night. And so they moved out. The wife freaked out. She couldn't live there anymore. And I didn't know that until like 2 months after I moved in. Someone told me that story. I was like, "Oh, great. Whatever. Cool." And then I started hearing stories about people saying, "Hey, don't talk to the girl in the blue dress." I'm like, "You're funny." Yeah. And yeah, I started like I would go on walks with my dogs around the unit, around the base, and I'd like kind of get glimpses of like I saw her twice. I got glimpses of a girl in a blue dress, like kind of walking in the woods. I was like, oh nope, I'm turning around. Nope. And one night, playing with Joey, 3 a.m. All is fine. The vibes are good. And I think I paused and I went and got some food and I started eating and I was in the living room. It was dark. And one thing that Joey, as a Native American, always told me was, one, don't sit on the countertop because you'll get married early. He got that from his grandma. Okay, I got married early, very early. And then he said, don't eat in the dark. It invites spirits. So I was sitting there 3 a.m, nothing but a screen illuminating the room. Me, him, playing games, having a good time, kind of laughing, giggling, and grinding out some games. And I was sitting there eating like my nachos or whatever I was having. And I thought it was a great idea. I didn't really think about it. And as we're going, vibes are completely killed and cut off by what sounds like the laugh of a small girl right behind me. It wasn't from outside the house. It wasn't dulled by walls or windows. It was clear as day right behind me. I froze. I literally like froze for a second and I jolted around. I look behind me and looking around. I'm like, I get back on the mic. I'm like, Joey, did you hear that? And he goes, why is Kim awake?
Mm.
I just say that's not Kim. She's asleep. And he goes, what the like he's starting to freak out. And the only thing I know how to do, I'm scared. I'm like, oh my, like, what the fuck? I get up, I turn on every single light in the house. Kim's dead asleep. It's 3 a.m. I turn on every light in the house. I run to my room and I grab my 12 gauge and I'm like, I don't know what this will do, but I'm going to use it. I racked that bitch, dude. And I'm like clearing the house out. And I'm so scared. Like I wasn't ignoring it like I should have. I was just it was right behind me. It had the chance to just grab me up and take me to little girl hell. And yeah, I was terrified, man. That's the closest encounter I've had and like the realest shit I've seen.
I got goosebumps. That's scary.
Since it was, yeah, I mean, it was a little bit because the delivery was phenomenal, but yeah, man, that's the closest I had to like anything, and it actually scared the shit out of me. I didn't believe in anything like that. I always laughed at Joey as a kid when he brought up Native American shit. But no, that was real. It was not fun. You heard that story, boys?
Yeah, I heard it.
I was there when you
Yeah.
you died.
I was there when you died.
Yeah.
You weren't even born yet when that happened.
I'm older than everybody here.
And you
Tenfold.
still wasn't old enough.
You still weren't born. You were at that unit before me, but yeah.
I was in the Coast Guard before you were born.
Do you remember all the spooky shit that was going on in that unit?
No, I never experienced any of it. Thank God.
What about Jobu?
Experience what?
Huh?
You don't remember Jobu?
Oh, that's a bad thing. No, I don't actually know. Oh, wait. Yeah, you touch him, some bullshit would happen. Yes, I do remember that.
It happened without fail every time.
Yeah,
Wait,
yeah.
what
But
happened?
then it stopped because it just I don't know what they did, but then
They
it
put
just
him in a
stopped.
glass case.
And
Oh.
I guess it worked. It just
Yeah,
stopped.
Joey's a little lost, and probably the viewers too. So go ahead and explain what
So
Jobu is.
so I remember I was out of the three of us, I was the last one to get to our duty station at Nia Bay. Um and there's this Native American totem pole in the entrance.
Like the
And like
foyer.
if you were walking in and whatnot, you would see it.
Yeah, gifted to
And
the unit by the reservation.
yeah, don't know how long ago it was, but it was a gift. And I was always told, don't fuck with Jobu. Bad shit happens. People die. We get cases late at night. You know, of
Everybody
towing
laughs
and
about it.
whatnot.
Nobody believes it.
Yeah, and whatnot. And every time, everyone who touches it first, shit happens. So I remember when I came along, there was a couple other guys that came along, right? And one of my best buds, Jones, he was like, I don't believe it. He touches it, we have a case at 12 in the morning. So we're like, don't fucking touch Joe Boo. Then
And it happened to
my
everybody. It
roommate,
happened to me. I
yeah,
touched it. Everybody touched
I
it, and
didn't,
we
I
got a
didn't
search and
touch
rescue
it.
case.
I didn't touch it. The worst time someone touched it, we had 3 back-to-back SAR cases, and someone died that same day. I remember our SK2's daughter touched it, and someone died that day. And then I sent her a text saying, "Your child killed a man."
Yeah.
Oh my God.
So we took it pretty serious after someone like died from
Yes,
the hands
because
of Jobu.
it happened a lot. Just what the fuck? And it was really bad that one day where we had 3 back-to-back SAR cases because it was tow, then the search and rescue case of drowning and whatnot, another tow right after that, and we brought the body to our base and shit like that. I was going through that man's pockets to find his wallet and his identification and
Was
shit
that the
like
one
that.
that I recovered? The old guy?
Yeah, super old guy who had a heart
Yeah,
attack.
that's the
and
one that they sent me to
yeah.
go grab.
No, not that one. Not when
Oh.
you guys went to go grab a body. This was one where the dude flipped and he was in the water for like 10 minutes. He died within 10
Oh.
minutes. I think you were off, and that was our section that was doing it. I think you and Josh were in the other section around that time. It was very early. I was there for, I think, a month that this happened. No. This was summer. This was definitely the summer. It was like 3-4 months later after I had got in, because Jones got there like a 2 month later and shit like that. But yeah, don't fuck with Joe Boo. That was the biggest thing that we always said, is just don't fuck with him. People always did, and some bad shit would happen. Either someone would die or we just have a really shitty SAR case.
So
Yeah,
was
it
it
was-
actually a gift, or did they give
We
that to
don't
him?
know. We don't know.
That's what I
We
heard.
don't
It
know.
was just a gift from the reservation.
I
And I've
remember
heard your story about little tokens that were like quotations gifted to people that were actually cursed.
I
Right?
don't think it was actually something that they gave to us to curse it, because the things that was happening wasn't necessarily to us. We weren't really being our lives weren't in danger and shit like that. It was other people's, whether it be the people who actually lived on the reservation or tourists. It wasn't us. So I don't really
Shit.
think that Jobu was cursed in that sense and whatnot, because
On you
if-
guys.
yeah, because
Okay.
some of the people who died and shit like that, when we got back, some people didn't care. So I don't think it was really meant to harm us and shit like that. Though I do remember a lot of the stories of the other stuff about the res that people should have known. One, that the base was built on a gravesite, which
I thought it was a trash site.
no, it was a gravesite. It was a very, very old gravesite. There was a lot of people that was murdered there. If you're in the woods and you hear drumming or whistling, run. Don't go near it or anything like that. If you see family members or you hear family members, you don't hear it. And I did hear the fucking drumming, because me and fucking dumbass homeboy, old roommate, I won't say his name, were in the fucking woods, and I was like, we need to go. It's not even like the sun has already gone down. You can't see in front of you, and we're fucking running through the woods, and we're hearing shit. And I'm like, I don't like this, bro. Because I'm like, fuck this shit. And we're like running through the fucking woods, and luckily someone on the res came and picked us up. And I'm like, yeah, I ain't the wilderness out here ain't for me, bro. Because it's not the fucking animals that are
Oh,
gonna
they're the
take me out.
stickmen, right? That's what they called them.
I
out there?
think that's what they called them.
They called them the stickmen.
They never could
What does that
actually
mean?
get.
It's
Don't know.
what is it called in the Southwest? It's I think it was the equivalent of like Wendigos.
Oh, okay.
It was always just told us, just don't be in the woods, because they're not even in the woods.
I don't
want
want to get into like the. I'm cool with it's just like weird ghost stories, but I'm not really cool with. Like, I don't even want to say their names, dude. What
Yeah,
was it,
I
like
I
cryptic
understand.
creatures. I don't want to. I don't even want to talk about that. I'll start like feeling things at my back, dude.
Which is why I'll never go in the desert, because of that creature that's out there that
Yeah.
no one's even supposed to talk about.
I've had a
The one
few
thing I'm gonna say one
encounters.
thing about the not to want to talk about it.
He who shall
the
not be named.
So the reason I didn't want to talk about it when we saw that thing on the bike trail is because if you see, legend says like, but this is
Oh,
from
damn, we're
this
getting
is
history.
from Mia's side of the family.
Okay.
Right. So she told me that if you see, so they can obviously, be different things, but if you see their face, you die. Like you're marked, kind of.
What?
You'll start getting stuck by little bones.
I stared at that
stuff like
motherfucker.
And the fact that we didn't see the face to where I saw a pale blank face and that you just saw the abyss was maybe they didn't want to do that to us, if that makes sense.
Did we get scanned and we just passed?
I guess.
Were
I don't
we
know.
whole of heart?
You know what I mean? You know what I mean? I don't know.
Pass the vibe check.
My bad.
I know,
My bad,
right?
Chub.
They only like virgins.
Well, yeah, good thing we weren't virgins because we fucked a lot of times before that.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
These Homo sapiens.
Yeah, Joey and I were just like rabbits, man.
Oh, Jesus fucking Christ. It would have grabbed my ass then.
What?
I said it would have grabbed my
It would have
ass.
grabbed your ass, dude?
Yeah, apparently. That's what John's
Yeah,
saying.
yeah, nice
Yeah, my
juicy ass
hot
for a little boy.
mouth. I'm feeling romantical.
I meant
there's
like
a
with each other. We didn't know what girls were at the time.
There is a reason why that I will never go to the desert and why I'll never go back to
Oh
Utah.
no, dude. Never mind.
Mm-mm.
That's
Nope.
just a whole nother topic.
Nope.
That I think that
Never.
we're pretty warmed up.
Never.
I'd say we're pretty warmed up.
Oh my fucking
My
God.
game's downloaded. I don't know about you guys.
I mean, I'm playing.
We're an hour in, and we haven't played anything. This was a podcast.
You're right.
It'd be like that sometimes.
But I'm glad that we're all like engaged and like talking because it was, I don't know, I dig it. Thank you so much, viewers and listeners, for coming out and watching this. I didn't think I would be doing a podcast ever. This was kind of accidental. We just started talking about a bunch of things and horror stories. But if you liked what you heard or saw, let me know in the comments. I don't know if I'm gonna make another one of these. It was fun. Hit that like and subscribe button if you want to see some more. Show me some love. Putting this stuff out for free,